Asian food is usually a fantastic option for vegans because it's a ton of vegetables. And Asian cultures know exactly what to do with things like tofu. It's not weird to them. It's not like American food where we're like, tofu? What is this bean curd, weird, spongy looking kind of block of white stuff? What am I supposed to do with this? Asian food has already answered that question. But even with vegetable dishes, you might think that most of the things that you're ordering are vegan, and maybe they are. But a lot of vegans actually don't know about what I'm about to share with you. If you're a vegan and you're gonna eat some Asian food, you absolutely must know this detail because it will save you from eating things that you don't want to be eating if you're actually vegan. Bon appetit! Delicious. All right, so we're just gonna kind of talk about Asian food in general, which is pretty delicious if you ask me. Think of an Asian dish, maybe something like lo mein. We'll start there. And kind of just looking at lo mein, it's pretty easy to figure out whether it should be vegan or not, right? You have your noodles, your vegetables, sometimes there's egg in there. The egg automatically makes it not vegan, but what if you just pull the egg from that? Shouldn't it be fine then? Well, you might think so, but it's actually not, generally speaking. A lot of times what Asian restaurants do is they'll put something like fish sauce or oyster sauce into the food. Now, apparently it's such a great flavor and it adds to things and that's part of how the dish is just made, but it does make it not vegan. Thai food is similar. If you're gonna get something like drunken noodle, which is an absolute favorite of mine, pad ki mao, that is something that is not all the way vegan. You might think that it is if you order it with just vegetables, but again, you have to ask for things like fish sauce and oyster sauce not to be put in when they're making the food. I have asked before, and they have told me in many cases that they do in fact put it in there, and because I'm vegan, they honor my request and they don't put it in, which is super awesome. Every Asian restaurant I have ever been to has immediately accommodated with no question. Obviously, there are certain things they can or can't adjust, but fish sauce or oyster sauce is something that they just won't include if you ask them not to. But you do want to make sure that it's just something you bring up as you're ordering your food. I'm letting my food get cold while I'm talking to you. You also want to be thinking about things like soup, because not all broths are vegetable broths. A lot of the time they're beef broth, maybe chicken broth or something like that. So you do want to ask about the base of certain soups that you're ordering as well. Another good thing to keep in mind is how the noodles are made, what they're made of. Plenty of noodles, usually the rice noodles I have found, tend to be vegan. You also have wheat noodles that will get you through the door in veganism, but there are some noodles that do have animal products in them, so just because you have a noodle dish with some vegetables doesn't mean that it's vegan. You just want to make sure, again, that you ask your waiter or waitress, what is the noodle? What animal products are in the noodle, if any? And if you can substitute out that noodle for something else. And a lot of places will also do that if you just simply ask. Another thing you want to think about is cross-contamination. So you have a vegan product going into a fryer where they fry not only the vegan products, but other things as well, things with animal products. So some Asian restaurants will throw the spring rolls that are normally vegan in with, I don't know, the chicken fryer, right? So now you have the potential for crossover, or at least they're taking a bath together, which is not all that great. It's not in there at the same time, but I mean, if you can imagine pieces of the chicken, even oils and fats and things getting out of the chicken and into the oil, and then they're frying your egg roll in it, rather your spring roll in it. Egg rolls are not vegan. Spring rolls, I think generally speaking are, but again, you do have to be thinking about the cross-contamination thing and if that's something that bothers you or not. There are people that are really gonna care that there's cross-contamination going on, and there are vegans that just won't. Just something to think about. I really think the most important lesson here is to really pay attention when you're ordering. Don't just assume that something is vegan. You just want to make sure that when you're ordering, you are clear with the waiter or waitress about what you're actually looking for, what you can and cannot have, because like I said, most places are perfectly accommodating, but they can't accommodate if you don't speak up. So it's very important that you are clear about what you need in your food. Sometimes that's gonna mean you can't go to a certain restaurant because they just cannot do it. But I have found that the vast majority of restaurants can do it for you and they will do it with a smile. And then it's always a good idea to clarify once more when you pick up the food. When you get to the restaurant, you wanna actually say one more time, so you made it with no fish sauce and no oyster sauce. That way, as you walk out the door, you can be as confident as you can possibly be because they answered your question in the affirmative Yes, we did not put any of the crap into the food. Are there mistakes made sometimes? Absolutely, that does happen. But if you love Asian food and you are as clear as you can possibly be, then no one is gonna fault you for breaking veganism if they happen to accidentally include something like fish sauce or oyster sauce in your meal. All right, so I hope that you learned something today, and I hope that this was informative and helps you order better. So that's enough out of me. I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of this food while it's somewhat warm. Remember, do something that makes the world a better place this week. People need you. You ever have someone brandish a off-brand sriracha bottle at you while trying to inspire you to make the world a better place? Well, you have now. Watch this awesome video next and check out the merch link down below, and I will see you next time. Would you like some tofu? I certainly would. All right, cheers. Go enjoy some Asian food.